Hey guys, how's it going? Paul here. Been a little while since I talked to you. It is Christmas Eve, and I am enjoying a little R&R, enjoying some time off. Got a 4-day weekend for the holiday, and doing some relaxing. I hope y'all are doing the same thing. Anyway, I'm going to do a tobacco review, short one here, and it's one I've talked about in my last video, which ended up being a couple months ago. One thing I've learned recently, I'm not even going to attempt to try to predict when, I'll get the next one out, but with school going on and everything, it's been hard. But I've been off for a few weeks. I've been off for, I think this is my 3rd week now, and been enjoying it very much. But we're going to review one today, and also I'll let you know what the next one's going to be. Today, we're going to take a look at this one. It's McClelland's 40th anniversary, and I've been smoking it for a while now. When I got them in, I ordered 3 tins, and I knew immediately I was going to do a review on them since it was a special run from McClelland, and I love McClelland Virginias. Oh, by the way, smoking this one today in my Savinelli Bing's favorite, Rusticated, or Sandblast, I'm not sure which. I think it's Sandblast. But anyway, I knew I was going to do a review on them, and I started smoking through 1 tin, and I'd planned on smoking a 10 and sticking 2 back. But I liked it so much, it was like that's all I was smoking, so I smoked through the whole 10, and I was like, well, darn, I was supposed to review that. So I ended up cracking the second one just for you. It was a sacrifice, but I did it for you guys. But by that, you can already see how this review is going to go. I did like it very much. The blend, it is a red Virginia, which is, as soon as that's said, I'm in. Love Virginias. And the cut is a flake. And let me set the pipe down and show you here. This one, it's kind of like most of the McClelland flakes. They're square, almost perfectly square, but they're smaller. They're not the long flakes you see from Gaworth or Dunhill or those guys. They're smaller flakes. They are thick. You can tell how thick that is, like a piece of jerky. But the moisture content on this one, when it came in the tin, the moisture content was very good. Maybe just a tad on the moist side, but I mean, if you rub the flakes out, if that's how you like to prepare them, you can set them out 15 minutes, and it was probably plenty. Like I said, they were barely a little on the moist side. If you like to fold and stuff or some variation of that, like I do, maybe a little longer, maybe 20, 25 minutes, and it was fine. So not a whole lot of prep work. The strength on it and the nicotine, it's not the most flavorful blend I've ever had. So as far as the flavor, the strength, medium. There are more complex blends out there, from McClelland even. So it's not something that's going to keep you guessing the whole way through, but it does have some variation. I'm looking at my notes if you see me look off screen here. Nicotine low to medium. I didn't really get a nicotine hit from it. And that'll depend. That's all personal. But I'm kind of a middle of the road nicotine guy. Some blends I'll feel it. Most of them, it's not that big a deal. Let's see. The tin note, now, that tin there is empty, so we're going to use a jar here. Yeah, there's no mistaking a McClelland, Virginia. They could send tins out and with no label on them whatsoever, and you put your nose in a McClelland, Virginia, and you know exactly what it is. Most of y'all will already know that if you were experienced with them. They have kind of a vinegar aroma. There's something in their casing or fermentation process that really gets that kind of vinegary note. I've heard people refer to it as a ketchup or a barbecue sauce kind of smell, and I get that. I understand that and agree. It's not off-putting. If you have not tried McClelland Virginias, don't let that put you off. You can taste that a little bit when you first light it up, but it is not something that's overwhelming and it's going to stay through the whole bowl. Like I said, you'll notice it a little bit at first and it'll go away. There's something about what they do, like I said, I don't know if it's a casing or if it's the way they ferment, but I love it. I've been smoking a pipe probably 3 years. And my favorite has always been Full Virginia Flake from Sam Gawith, and I still love it. Got a couple tins in there. I love it. It's a great Virginia. But here lately, I find myself reaching for McClelland Virginias even more often than the Sam Gawith. And that's saying something, because like I said, that was solidly my #1 Virginia. The smoking characteristics, it's a thick flake. You saw that. So you're going to have a few relights. That's nothing to be concerned about. Sorry, it's cold out here, guys. I got my nose running. It's going to leave a little bit of dampness in your bowl. It doesn't really burn down to that. You hear a fine white ash, that term thrown out all the time. This is not going to really give you that. It's going to be a little bit of dampness in there, and you'll have a little dottle at the bottom, but that's not a problem for me. The flavors. Typical red Virginia. Typical for a McClelland. You get that tangy, kind of dark fruit, kind of, you know, like it's very subtle. I mean, you're not going to puff it and go, oh, there's plums or there's figs, but you do kind of get that dark fruit in the background. You get a little bit of that citrusy, grassy flavor, but that's not the predominant flavor. The predominant is the red Virginia, the tangy, the, you know, earthy, dark fruity. And like I said, it's all subtle. Let's see what other notes I made here in the last month I've been smoking this. The sweetness of it, it's a little bit. You don't have a whole lot of sweetness. Virginias, as if you're experienced, you know this. But if you're not, Virginias are known for having a natural high sugar content. They are known for being a little naturally sweet, which is one thing that draws me to them. This has a little of that, but it's not in your face with the sweetness. Now, I suspect that this will get much better the longer it's in your cellar. I plan on getting a couple more tins with the deeming regulations, and this is something they just came out with. I don't know how long they're going to produce it. So I would like to get, heck, 4, 5, 6, 7 more tins, how many ever I can procure before they stop making it. I would like to stick quite a bit of it back, because while I give this blend, if you were doing a 5-star rating, I would give it a solid 4. I do think it has the potential to get really good in, say, 5 years. So that's it for this one, guys. I love it, like I do most McClelland Virginias. And like I said, I would expect it to do nothing but get better the longer it's set. Virginia's just, I mean, you know, they definitely don't get any worse sitting there. They will get better and better. Next on the queue, I know what my next 2 videos are going to be. I'm not going to give you a time frame, because it always seems like I lie to you when I do that. But I actually got a request for a review, and I apologize. I should have written the person's name down that requested that, and I didn't do it. That was an oversight on my part. I should have done that. But I got a request for McClelland St. James Woods, and I actually have a tin of it. I have not cracked it open, so I don't have any experience with it. It's a McClelland Virginia Perique. If I'm not mistaken, it's a flake. It's a flake, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll do that. That review will be the next review we do. And I also have a pipe maintenance video that I want to show you. I have found on YouTube, and we'll talk about, you know, where I found this information at. We'll give credit where it's due. But there was somebody that had talked about it, but it was not demonstrated. I'm going to demonstrate for you how to clean your pipe stems if you get oxidation on them. It is a very fast method, and it's so easy, it's crazy. And I'm going to show you that. So that's what the next 2 will be. We'll do a review of St. James Woods, and we'll do a little pipe maintenance video, hopefully sooner than later. That's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I'm going to try to get this posted on Christmas Eve. Some of you may see it. Most of you probably got better things to do on Christmas Eve than watch me talk. But anyway, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. As always, especially around the holidays, go forth and do good.